What's up, y'all? This is Brother Ali. You're watching The Big Bang Show with Jay Hart. Stay right here.
And we are with Brother Ali on The Big Bang Show.
That's right.
What's up, bro?
Good, man. How
You good? Yeah, I'm cool, man.
Yeah.
Not too tired with all these shows? Okay. Yo, let's introduce yourself to people who don't know you already, man.
I'm Brother Ali. I'm an MC from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Part of the Rhyme Sayers crew. Obviously, that's why we're here. And yeah, man, independent artist.
Yeah, definitely. Your last project was Us.
That's right.
It was dropped in 2009.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied of feedbacks you got in this album?
I mean, I don't think that I would. I think I'd go crazy if I thought about that too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I focus on the people that do appreciate what we do. I don't focus on the people that don't. You know what I mean? The only thing that does when I see people that don't necessarily appreciate or register with what we do, it makes me want to be more effective at communicating. Because I know that what I'm saying and what I'm feeling is important, and I know that there are people out there that would appreciate it, but might not know it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it makes me want to be better at what I do.
That's what's up, man. That's what's definitely, man. And you know, your lyrics are really deep and engaged. You know, that the fact you had bad times, you was homeless at a certain period. Is it? Do you think that's why you are so engaged in your lyrics?
I think that I think it has more to do with the fact that I look very different, and so that made me have to think differently. That I didn't have a particular group of people that were my people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ever. And so I had to always look at things for what they are, and I had to really assess things on my own and come up with my own approach to the world, my own way of relating to people and to ideas. And so I think that no matter what I went through or didn't go through, I think that alone made me have to look at things and try to figure things out for myself.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times we have a group that we identify with, and our group, at least in the beginning, our group tells us how to relate to things. Our group has decided together what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not having that, I had to figure those things out for myself, and had to borrow something from this group, from that group, and determine who I'm gonna be.
I got you. And that's why you are so poor in your music to do this struggle. I mean, you know, you're really deep in your lyrics. You're really about different people, poor people, or bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all these bad situations help you in your music.
I mean, I think that we learn from those situations, and once you've been in that position, and once your heart is connected to oppress people, you become, you can't rest until everybody can live a dignified life, until everybody has the same access to resources and opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, you just become, I think that it makes you almost a fanatic for it, you know what I mean? But you know, not a fanatic in the sense that you want to hurt people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
As a Muslim, I have to be careful saying words like fanatic, but it makes you supremely focused, how's that, on fairness and justice.
Yeah. And that's a part of Islam also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm Muslim also, you know what I mean? So, about your last album, Us, what is the track you are the most proud of?
I think there's a few. The Travelers is one.
Yeah?
Yeah, The Travelers is a song about humanity. But it focuses on the New World slave trade. But the first verse deals with the effects, just talking about really what it must be like to be in that situation of being an enslaved human being.
Yeah.
And mentally and spiritually and psychologically and, you know, what physically, like what that might mean, you know. But then on the other side, to talk about the people who inherit the legacy of being slave owners. You know, that's something that we inherit. We inherit that legacy of white supremacy and of slavery and oppression, being oppressors.
Yeah.
You know, to inherit that, what does that mean in terms of our own humanity? And you know, it makes us have to examine what does it mean to be a human being. And if I can remove remove somebody's humanity from them, even if it's just in my mind and in the situation that I control, what does that say about my humanity? What does that do to my own?
Yeah.
You know, if I'm saying, you know, to enslave somebody is a statement about what you think or your impression of what it means to be human. So to say, well, like, being a human alone doesn't qualify you for dignified life, that you have to be a member of my racial group, my religion, speak my language, all of this stuff. So once we make that decision in our mind that it's not enough to be a human being, then we've said something about our own humanity at that point. Yeah. We say more about our own humanity than we say about the people that we enslave, you know. And so that's what that song is about. Is about that when our foreparents did that, and when we carry that legacy on, that it's doing something serious to us too, you know. And that's what I wanted the people that listen to me. I wanted to share that idea and just put that idea in the air. I don't know how many people listen to it or think about it that way, but I have to say what's going on inside me. So I would say The Travelers is the one I'm most. I don't even know if proud is the word, but I just feel very fortunate to have had that feeling at that time and then really express it.
Yeah, I can understand that, bro. Let's do it. I will play right now on this show. I will put the video right now on the interview, bro.
Shackles are heavy on the wrist, stacked like sardines, belly of a ship. Live in your own piss and shit, and being seasick. Cracked across the back with a thick leather whip. Salt water burn through your wounds. Women are starving with babies in their wombs. On your hands and knees trying to cry, God please. Exhausted, your voice is too weak to speak. Neighbors and strangers are dying beside you. Their decaying bodies you're tied to. Cling tight to your fight for survival. Wonder if your tribe will ever try to find you. Arrive somewhere strange, the air is cold. You can see your breath and you're barely clothed. Your first time ever seeing snow. Sleeping next to it on a hard dirt floor. Ho from can't see in the morning to can't see at night. You work till your hands bleed white. Your native language you can't recite. Murdered on sight if you try to read or write. When you bend all your life and can't see the light, it gets painful to stand upright. Right? And your eyes pit a sight of your wife being pulled out your shack and brutalized at night. You only taste joy when babies are born, which became an occasion to mourn. Separated, torn from your celebrating arms. Then as quickly as they came, they were gone. Sold away from your farm, this is all they've known. Never heard stories from home, they forget your name. The culture from which you came. Teaching it'll
I'll be back, man. We're back with Brother Ali. You're the proof that an artist can have a huge follow without heavy rotation on radios. You know what I mean? How did you get this popularity?
A lot of it is, I have a whole lot of help from atmosphere. You know what I mean? I haven't done any of this stuff on my own. So much of it is from rhyme sayers, and particularly atmosphere. That they generated so much excitement for underground, independent music for people from my part of the world, you know.
Yeah.
That they really opened a lot of the doors. On top of that, it's a lot of word of mouth, and it's a lot of people like you who are respected. People like you that go out and find music for that, you know, for more passive listeners or for people who don't dedicate their lives the way, you know, people like you dedicate your life to searching, scouring the world for the music that's important to you, and then you share it. So people like you know what I mean, that share our music, and you know, your listeners value your judgment, you know. but a lot of it is just word of mouth. A lot of it is, you know, people carrying us to new places. And we tour a lot, you know, that's important.
Yeah.
That we, you know, that if you listen to our music, you can see us and we'll come and perform it for you.
Yeah, okay. And I want to talk about something, man. The track Uncle Sam, Goddamn. It was on your precedent album, Undisputed Truth. This track had a lot of controversy, you know.
A little bit.
Yeah, did you expect that?
I don't know what to expect. I knew that some people would. I knew that some people would love it, some people would hate it. To me, people loving our music and hating music or the message that's fine. That's to be expected. What bothers me the most is indifference. People that just don't care.
Yeah.
I would rather have people be upset and thinking than just not caring. That's what hurts the most as an artist is when people just don't give a fuck.
That's what you learned.
That's what hurts.
That's what you learned with this experience.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. And what's your feeling about Europe? What you like and dislike here? About shows, about what you know about Europe?
In terms of performing and playing shows, I like it a lot. I think we all do. After we get used to the, we have to just kind of learn our way around a little bit. The first few times you come here, it's very difficult. You know, in America everything is so easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, anywhere you go, you know exactly because everything is chains. You know, so you know where you can go and exactly what you'll eat. You know exactly where to go to get the clothes you want. Everything is so easy. You know what I mean? It's very convenient. In Europe, it's a little bit. We just have to learn our way around. But once we do that, I think that the people here appreciate art and music. There's more of a sense of history. There's more of a sense of culture.
Yeah.
There's more of a sense of the meaning in things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where Americans have given up the meaning in things for those conveniences. You know what I mean? We forget. We don't care about the fact that somebody owned this restaurant for 2 generations. You know what I mean? As a whole society, we'd rather have there be an Applebee's where we know where we can go there and exactly what's on the menu. You know, so we give up a lot of meaning for our convenience. And so because of that, we're losing our sense of culture and history and identity and things like that. I really love about Europe that there's a lot of conversation, that people really are engaged in the
They really like to debate, right? Here?
Yeah. France, I really love about France that, and I know your show is in the UK, but, you know, we're in France, and one of the things that I love so much about France is that they're the least willing people to just assimilate to what's going on in the world.
Yeah. In
terms of this part of Europe, you know what I mean? They don't want to give up being French, and I think that's beautiful. I think that's a great thing. My least favorite part about Europe is, you know, the biggest criticism about white European people as a whole is that we've created, that our goal is to create a utopia for ourselves at the expense of other people. So that we want freedom, justice, equality, liberty, free speech, free everything, openness for ourselves. But then other people should have to be like us. You know what I mean? And I hate that. I hate that. Okay. And, so, you know, in Europe, people that look down upon, you know, Arab people, African people, you know what I mean? And as much as the French want to stay French, I don't understand why they can't appreciate that an African person wants to be African, and that an Arab person wants to be Arab, and that a Muslim wants to be a Muslim.